Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Details by Matt. Today in this video, I am going to show you my model of my steam cleaner, the McCulloch 1375, and why it's going to save you time using it the way I'm going to suggest, and how I save time detailing so that you can do the same on your vehicles and customer vehicles. So first of all, like I said, I have the 1375 model. It has really cool wheels, big wheels that glide over little pebbles or whatever, really good. So that's cool, and it's efficient because it rolls. You can pull it. You don't have to go back and grab it. It has a 10-foot cord. This particular model has a 48-ounce tank, and which means that it's going to last you about 90 minutes of steaming, and that's cool because you don't have to stop, and you can do like everything that you need to do in a vehicle typically, and you don't have to stop and turn it off, wait 10 minutes, fill it back up with water, and wait for it to heat back up, and then start all over again. I had just the Harbor Freight model at one point in time, and that's the issue that I ran into with that. And when it kicked the bucket, I decided to get this. The McCulloch Steamers has three different models: the 1275, the 1375, and also the 1385, I believe, which is incredibly big, and it's cumbersome, and I don't believe that it's made for somebody that's detailing a lot of vehicles. It's a lot to move around, and it's cool because it has a 64-ounce tank and like 120-minute steam time. But the 1375 model has plenty of time. 90 minutes is plenty. So I'm going to start out by talking about the attachments. It comes with a little perforated attachment that you can put on, and I'll show you. It looks like that, and it just slides on, and that serves as your attachment piece. It's got a little hexagon shaped hole right there, and all the rest of the brushes just pop right on. And those are good for doing plastic doors, or it has a lot of different softer attachments for soft plastics. It has a scraper for any build-up grime or whatever. That's pretty cool because you can scrape, and the scraper and the triangle piece both go without that first perforated attachment. It goes directly onto the handle. So tips, tricks, and techniques. When I'm doing door jambs, the mounting brackets to the door body are really hard to get in, even with a brush, because whatever brush you have, the handle usually gets caught and doesn't allow you to get the bristles in and around the bracket. So what I do is I just put the first perforated attachment on there with no brushes or anything, and it narrows down the stream of your steam. So you can blast some of those crevices out, get them nice and clean, and then go back and wipe them with the microfiber. Brushes like this are drill attachments, and if you use this in combination with your free steamer, it'll save you a lot of time in trying to get your finger wrapped around your microfiber and get in little crevices. So this is also really good for all of the little seams where the plastic meets the floor around driver, passenger, and back seat. If you do the free steamer around the edges, it will blast all that stuff out. What I usually do is I'll go through and vacuum and agitate all the carpets and floors, and then after the majority of everything is cleaned up, I'll go back and I'll steam, and then I'll use the triangle attachment and go over all the floors. And what that does is it just breaks up any leftover remaining particles of dirt, sand, whatever, and then you can go back and do your final vac, and it sucks up 100% of everything. So save a lot of time going back and vacuuming like 3 or 4 times, and you end up with a very super clean surface that is not, it doesn't have a lot of leftover residue and so on and so forth. So that'll save you a lot of time. It's a good tip to do the door jambs with the steamer all the time, because a lot of times you can break up all the grease and grime and have a nice clean finish. And what I do is I go back over everything with the same dual polymer finish that I finish the car paint on. And what that's going to do is help prevent as fast of dirt and grime buildup again. So the customer is noticing a long lasting clean. Now the steamer, because it heats up so hot, it will kill all the germs and bacteria if you do a thorough job of steaming. I love to do all the plastic surfaces and stuff like that, especially around the steering wheel. Then you got a nice, clean, and sanitized area to all the areas that you touch: steering wheel, gear shift, everything's nice and clean. So that's always a nice touch before you go back and put any 303 finishers or whatever on it. When you start steaming, like I said, the cord is really long. So when you're standing next to the door getting ready to steam, I think this is heated up. This also has a nice gauge on it, so I can tell right away just by glancing at it that it's ready to go. And it takes about 8 to 10 minutes to heat up, so that's cool too. One of the things I love about this model. Another thing is that it's got a button right on the side of the handle that allows you to squeeze the trigger and start steaming. Push the button in, and once it's depressed, you can let go of the trigger and it stays flowing. It stays steaming, so that you don't have to just sit there and hold the handle all the time. Not that it's a big deal, but it is a nice little feature on this particular one. When you first start steaming, you're going to have a lot of water, and it clears out pretty quick. Now, if you haven't steamed for a couple minutes and you've been wiping down, water will build back up in the hose. Then you'll need to point the trigger back down to the ground and get the rest of the water out, and then you can begin steaming again. So that is it. That's the 1375 model. And by the way, real quick, excellent to finish up your tires after you've washed them and done all the wipe down and everything. If you need to pick up any leftover residue around the lugs that your drill brush didn't get, that's excellent to just put that final touch and make sure there's no little crevices that were forgotten, and you can blast those out with the compressed air. It works amazing. So that is it for this little tip trick video. Details by Matt right here in Mount Vernon, and I'll see you on the next one.